The wild black raspberries are ripe, so I've come down to see if I can harvest some of them. They are so tasty. So good. I've actually already been harvesting some of them. Every time I drive by them, I stop my car and get out and eat a handful. They are so good. So raspberries grow wild in the mountains of Appalachia, in western North Carolina, I should say. I can't really speak about other places, but in western North Carolina, they're fairly common, is the black wild raspberry. These are growing right by Paul's garage. And many years ago, when this road, it's just behind the camera, the driveway that goes behind it, was built. It was built for my brother Steve and his wife Kim's house. And so the garage wasn't here. It was still wooded right here, and Paul's house wasn't there. It's still wooded. Of course, our house wasn't there either. And I was down here one day doing something, I don't know, walking around looking. I was grown. I was an adult, but me and Matt wasn't married yet. And I found some black raspberries growing down here. I was so excited about them. Now, I love raspberries. They're a real tasty fruit. But the main reason I was excited about them is I could remember just down the holler that way at my Mama Marie's house, she had a big raspberry bush. I don't think it was a wild one. I think it was a tame one, probably, that she had planted. But I can remember standing by it and eating them when I was, when I was just a little girl standing down there. So I was so excited when I found that one. Well, I told Pap, and he was excited about it too, and said, yeah, they grow wild. Sometimes you can find them. And I didn't tell my brother Steve, though, and he accidentally mowed it down. I'm sure it come right back. I'm sure it did. But that was in the days when me and Matt was about to get married, and we were building a house. Soon after that, probably the following year, we started our house. So I didn't think no more about those black raspberries again. I just totally forgot about them. And then, was it last year? I guess is the first year that I found them growing right here. And Corey and Austin was having some work done after they bought Steve and Kim's house, and it was one of the trips I was coming out through here. I was like, that looks like a lot of blackberries right there in one patch. So I was thinking blackberries. Of course, I like to pick them and make jelly and cobblers and pies and everything. And I stopped to look, and then I found out, no, even better, because we have blackberries everywhere. Even better, it was the black raspberries. So I didn't really get to harvest a lot of them last year. By the time I found them, they were on their way out. And then, if you follow us and our family well, we had 2 babies born in our family last year. So it was really, really busy spring and summer. So I didn't really get to do anything but eat them. But today I'm going to pick some to eat. But I'm also going to pick some to make a recipe out of mine and Jim Cassida's cookbook. It is a really, really easy one. So it doesn't take much effort. But first I got to pick the blackberries. So this little bank where they're growing, it's kind of on a bank that divides Granny's driveway from Paul's driveway and our driveway and Austin and Corey's driveway now. But they're just growing profusely through here, all the way back behind Paul's garage, all the way up the bank and down the bank. So there's quite a few of them in this one little area. It is kind of a steep bank. So I brought me a hoe to make sure there's no, what do people call, no shoulders. I don't have no shoulders hanging out here. I normally don't even think about that. But earlier this week we had a copperhead in one of my flower beds. So I thought, well, I better take a hoe and just kind of shake it around in there, make sure there's no buddies hiding out. So here's a good example of one up close. You can see the red ones, how those are just turning, and then that black one that's already ripe there, and one that something kind of happened to. Here's another one right beside it. You can see the black ones are the ones that are ripe. I need to come back this fall and trim back all the trees, because here's a maple tree growing too right in the middle of them. can see though they're spreading. This one behind it that's kind of a paler green, that's this year's new growth. So they're still growing. That's good. The terrible vine, the bittersweet, is down here too though. Nothing like a gnat going up your nose. Raspberries are notoriously fragile. There's a squirrel up above me in a walnut tree, and it's throwing stuff at me or dropping stuff on me. I don't know if it's, I thought at first it was raining. I don't know if it's trying to build a nest or what, but that fell in my hair, whatever that was. I don't know what it's doing. I really want to get right in there, but there's a tire in there. I'd hate for a big snake to be under it. I never think about snakes until we see them, and then I think about them. Maybe the squirrel's trying to get me to go away. Maybe dropping stuff on me on purpose. I've about got enough for what I need. But once you start picking them, you just, my goodness, you're going to drop a walnut on my head in a minute. You just want to keep picking them. Some of them are too mushy, I'm just having to drop. Now, if I was making jelly, I'd just take all the mushy ones and all. I could just magic wand and get those to come to me over there. There's a bunch of good ones. This bank is short, but it's very, very steep. And I'm eating about as many as I pick, so that ain't helping. So that was what that's just dropped on my head. I think the squirrel's getting the black walnuts and they're getting the green part off. That's what's dropping, is that green outer part of a black walnut. There's a big piece of it. It fell in my raspberries. Boy, I can smell it if you know what black walnuts smell like. Hey.
My own bucket. You may be done nearly, but
I'm about done, but
Corey and Austin came back and I ate a bowl of cereal because I was real hungry. I thought if I come down here when I was super hungry, I wouldn't be no help. How'd you climb up there?
I don't know, I just did. Now there's some over in there. You may not have to climb all the way up here. You look around.
I tell you what, I'd about go up and around and come from the top down.
We'll go do.
Because there's some up there.
Yeah.
Of course, I could just see if I can.
Well, it's pretty steep. I come this way and come at it sidled. I come across the sidling ground to get to it.
If I could just ever get both feet up here, then I'd be good to go. It's a nice thought about snake season.
Well, I took a hoe over there and went around, but I didn't over here. But the problem I've had is there's a squirrel up in that walnut tree, and it's eating walnuts and it's throwing the stuff down on me.
Really?
I've got it in my hair, yeah.
My Lord. Crazy thing.
First I thought it was raining,
Well, I
and then
heard
I
something. I
realized
just
it was
looked
a
over there a
squirrel.
minute ago because
No,
I
it's
was like,
a
what
squirrel,
did
and
I
it's
hear?
eating walnuts, but it's getting the green, or I don't know if it's eating them. It's probably just getting them to store up for winter. It's getting the green parts off and throwing the green parts down.
Here I am.
Oh, there you go. So if they're real mushy, toss them. Some of them are.
Did we about wait too late on them?
Well, it's
Some
just
of them
some
are
of them
still
are.
red.
And don't get the really, really red ones, but like this one's
The
probably.
purple maybe?
Yeah, probably okay.
Well, I'd have been down here sooner.
Oh, I know, you just keep them with the.
Well, I should have even. They've been back for a little bit, but like I said, I ate that bowl of
That's
cereal,
fine.
and then I remembered. Oh my gosh, Mama's down there. I could have probably come sooner. I'm
That's
sorry.
all right.
But here I am now. Picking.
I really probably have enough, but then I was like, I can't quit picking them, and maybe I'd get enough to make jelly too. That would be good.
The thing about it is we'll pick all you want because they ain't no reason to. I mean, they're gonna go to waste, so we might as well. Ain't nobody else. I mean, Corey might. Well, she ain't gonna want to do nothing. I mean, she said the mulberries were really not a go.
Yeah, they stopped.
Oh, okay. One time a squirrel threw an acorn down on my head, but it was just, I just happened to be walking by.
Well, I got reinforcements come. She couldn't come earlier because she was keeping, of course, Ira, but Woodrow. She was babysitting Ira, and then, babysitting Woodrow because Corey and Austin went over to, and I've got the camera so crooked, we're crooked.
Nah, who cares? That's okay.
Went over to Miss Cindy's to see if there was any mulberries to harvest, but it seems like this has been, for at least for that tree, a bad year for mulberries, so there wasn't hardly anything for them to get. But this is what we ended up with. Katie got a little.
Yeah, I come right at the end.
She come at the end, but this is more than enough for what I'm going to make. And we might even have some left over. I just kept picking them because I thought maybe we would, I could make jelly or something. But we'll just eat them probably, any that's left over. And maybe I'll put all of them in there. I don't know. And the dessert I'm going to make. Oh yeah, they're so good. You can see my
Mama's hands are really purple. I just barely have like any purple tinge, but I was like here for 4 minutes. So.
Blackberries are, not blackberries, raspberries, these black raspberries, they're really easier to pick than blackberries because they do have briars, but they're not near as sharp or as long.
They're real short,
yeah. So if I had been picking, I don't think I even got any, well, I got a little bit of scratches there, but if I had been picking blackberries for this long, I would just look like I'd been in a giant cat fight. They'd be everywhere.
Yeah.
But they're worth it, I think. Usually if I do blackberries, I take a pair of clippers with me and I pick and then I clip that briar out of my way to get further in. Anyway, I'm excited though about these, and now we're going to go home and make our dessert, and I think Katie's going to help me. Didn't you say you'd make me some pudding?
Yeah, I'll say I'll do whatever you need. Sure.
So I'm going to make the cake. It's going to be a trifle. I'll read you the recipe though out of mine and Jim's cookbook when we get back home and get cleaned up. And Katie said she would make me some pudding to go in.
You want just like vanilla pudding?
Mm-hmm.
It's okay, it's vanilla?
Yeah, vanilla's fine. That'd be fine.
Good.
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
Katie and I made it back home, had some dinner. Now, I said I was going to make the dessert with the raspberries, but there's one more thing I need to do before I can actually put together the really simple recipe out of mine and Jim's cookbook. I got to make a pound cake. You could go buy a pound cake. You know, most, even like grocery stores that have a bakery will have pound cake in there. Of course, you could go to a bakery, but I'm going to make one. I'm going to make the one I'm going to use. And I'm going to make my favorite pound cake, which is my Aunt Faye's pound cake. Aunt Faye's pound cake. It's what even Granny's got it wrote. I've got my little card glued in my cookbook. This is one of my cookbooks that I've had for many years. Just a notebook that I glue things in or write things in. And Granny wrote this out for me, so she's just got Faye's pound cake. So it's really simple one to make. I am going to have to make one change because I don't have all the ingredients today. But it's 1 cup of Crisco. That's what I don't have, shortening. I'm going to use butter, and then I searched just to see how the cake would turn out online, and it said that oftentimes it'd still be good, it'd be fine, but it might not have, because butter doesn't have as much fat as like Crisco or one of those. So I'm going to add a tablespoon of oil to, I'm using avocado oil, I'm going to use that. Anyway, that's the only change I'm making. It takes 2 cups of sugar, 4 eggs, 2½ cups of plain flour, that's all-purpose flour, and then 1/2 cup self-rising flour. That's Faye's little twist on it. I think that makes it good. You can hear my beeper over there. 1 cup milk, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, And that's all that goes in the cake. I will link to this, the blog post about this cake on the Blind Pig and the Acorn, so you can jump over there and jot it down if you want to try to make it too. So let me get I've got my, what's in the microwave that the beeper is going off is my butter. I was just doing it for like 5 seconds at a time to try to get it softened because it was hard coming out of the refrigerator. But I think we're ready to start. I just got to get the mixer out and move all this to that side, and then we'll be ready to go. I forgot to say, I'm using, like, this is the bundt pan that I'm using. This is a really old, heavy-duty one. I don't know if it's got the name of it on there or not. Bundt is the actual brand of it. So Granny had one like this when I was growing up, and it's the one she used for everything. Whether it was something like Aunt Faye's pound cake or like coffee cakes were real popular. It seems like in the early 80s, late 70s, and so she used it a lot for that. And I always liked it because it's just so sturdy feeling. And of course, Granny didn't even remember where she got it, I don't guess. She might have got it when her and Pap got married. It might have been one of those things. Several of her things she has since they got married. She's had them all those years. This is how you know the real quality, right? I have some things like that from when me and Matt got married. Anyway, one day I was at a thrift store in Peachtree, and I seen it, and it was like $1 or $2 or something like that. It was real grimy and dirty, but I took it home and scrubbed it up real good, and I've been using it ever since. Actually, before I took it home and scrubbed it up, I took it to Granny's. It's like, look what I found, one just like yours. I was so excited. So that's what I'm going to use, but any sort of bundt pan or a tube pan should work fine. So I'm just going to cream the butter. Should be shortening, but the butter and the sugar together. I forgot I was going to add the tablespoon of oil, so I'm going to add it and then let it, it's pretty much creamed, but let it go a little bit longer. Okay, I forgot I had to shut the back. I made a big mess the first time. I had to lock it down. Now I'm just going to start adding my eggs one at a time and mixing after each egg. So now I'm just going to add, got to add the vanilla last, but before that I'm going to add some flour and milk just alternately. I'll start with the flour. My mixer is new and it's this little part is stiff. Woo! Oh my goodness gracious, he made a mess that time. I wonder if I should try to scrape some of it up. Oh my goodness. I told you it was stiff. It's like it won't go to the next speed unless it jerks. And I went way too far that time. Well, y'all know, it's cooking with Tipper. It's going to be messy. It's usually good though, so it evens out. Here comes Matt. You want to see what a big mess I made? No fire department. Maybe the cleanup crew. It's because this is so stiff because it's new, and I went one too many and got flour all over the place. I made a real mess this time. Yeah, I'm the one that has to clean it up, so. Okay, we'll add the milk and go slower this time, and let me see how many I can go at once. Oh, I made a huge mess. Look at me. I got it all over me too.
Gosh, good Lord. What are you doing in here?
My new mixer, I love it, but it's stiff, the little thing. You probably noticed that too.
Oh, yeah. When I was making my hamburger buns.
Yeah, it's stiff, and so I went way too far. And that's why I'm wearing most of the flour.
You push on it like that, and it just jumps.
It just
Right
jumps.
about that.
Yeah.
Let's see what I can do with the floor.
Oh, bless you, Katie. Katie's gonna be my cleanup crew for the floor.
I bumped the camera.
That's okay. That's okay, because at least you're helping me. Okay, I'm gonna start really slow this time. Still come out a little bit. I'm just learning my new mixer. I do like it, but I gotta get used to it.
I gotta get your feet.
No, don't worry about my feet. They're okay. They're okay. I have to clean up the counter. Okay, I'm going gonna go ahead and add all the milk. See, even on the lowest speed, it still sloshes a little bit.
Yeah.
I just have to get used to it. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, that's looking great though. It will be good.
Oh yeah, it will be delicious.
Alright, let me add the rest of the flour. The rest of the flour, other than what's all over the counter, me and the floor. It's everywhere. Look at the camera. Maybe on the screen, on the lens, they'll be wanting to be able to see.
They'll be like, what's that smudge?
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna add the vanilla too. Well, I was already gonna have to clean up the kitchen, but I'm really gonna have to clean up the kitchen now. I'm gonna scrape the sides a little bit and start. I know it's a mess. I'm telling you. I said it's not for everybody that watches me all the time. I said, you know, it ain't cooking with Chipper unless it's a mess.
Well, hey, it's not cooking without Katie unless it's a mess.
It's true. Oh man, look at that. Deliciousness though. You're gonna have to get some.
If you don't like that, then
Something's
you're
wrong
a crazy
with you.
person. Yeah. It's just like buttery, sugary fluff. It's delicious. Alright, well, I think now our rag is turning into a piece of bread with the wet flour, so we're going to have to just get us
on it.
something else to work with here.
Alright, I'm done, so we can clean up the mixer and move it and clean
That'll
up
help
all
us
the
get to the rest
flour.
I'll get you another rag.
I probably lost at least a fourth a cup of flour. I don't know what that'll do to it. As you should see me. It's all over me, all over the mixer there, but it'll be okay. I think somebody will get to lick that. I'll just leave that. Maybe Matt will come in here and lick it. There's some flour under there. Okay, let's put it in the bundt pan and see what happens. Katie's still helping me clean up my mess. You can see I'm wearing about as much as was over the counter. Okay, I've got my bundt pan all greased up. I don't think I said we're going to bake it at 325 for an hour, but again, I'll link to that recipe that's on the Blind Pig. I know, Katie. I'll clean up the rest.
Well, I'm just laughing at myself.
I thought you was like it won't. Katie said once the flour hit the dampness, it's solidified. We may have to chisel it off.
It does. It starts setting up. Listen, you got to be able to have fun.
Oh, yeah.
Can't have fun, then what's the point?
If I couldn't have fun and laugh at every time I mess up, I'd be in bad shape.
And so would I. I'd have to just go around serious all the
Yeah, I
time.
guess I'd mess up a lot.
So do I. You know, that happened to me when I was kneading that bread.
Yeah?
Well, whatever, I've done several bread things like that in there, and that hook will make one first rotation and out it comes.
Out the flour comes.
Yep, all over the place. Yep.
I've done that lots, but that may be the worst time I've ever done it. But it's because it's the thing's stiff and I went one too many.
Yeah,
I was
you're
trying to
right.
be slow, but even you can't hardly get it to
Yeah,
turn
you're just like
around.
trying to barely push the knob for it to go to the next setting, and then it's just like, yeah, it just jumps too fast.
Okay, got it all in the pan. I'm going to put it in the oven for about an hour. I have to get it out and let it cool. In the meantime, I'm going to clean up this huge mess. Clean up myself, and then Katie's got to make us the vanilla pudding to go with it. So we'll be back.
We will be back, and it will be, oh no, man, I'm making a mess too. I swapped the cord through the thing.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Everything will be clean when we come back.
Unless we make some more messes.
On this next installment of Kitchen Disasters 101.
Well, it's took me all day, but I'm finally ready to share the recipe I was trying to make all day with you. You can see we did get all the flour cleaned up. I probably still have some on me somewhere. I have some raspberry stains too from picking the raspberries. So this recipe's in mine and Jim's cookbook, Celebrating Southern Appalachian Food. It's really easy, especially if you were to buy the raspberries and buy a cake already made. but it's raspberry trifle, and it's on page 166. It says, although wild raspberries are the essence of all that is delicious, and both red and black ones grow wildly across southern Appalachia, you can substitute domestic ones, or I would say ones you buy from the grocery store. You need 2 cups of raspberries. I probably have more than that, but that's okay. 1 store-bought or homemade pound cake, 1 tapioca or vanilla pudding made from dry mix. Katie made hers from scratch. She made it for me, so she made us some vanilla pudding. So we've got that. Whipped cream, homemade or from a squirt can. I made some. I hope I've got enough. I just made it over in the mixer. Cover the bottom of a large bowl or trifle dish with a layer of crumbled pound cake. Place a layer of raspberries over the cake, followed by a layer of vanilla or tapioca pudding and a layer of whipped cream. Repeat layers until bowl is full, ending with whipped topping dotted by fresh berries. This is a versatile recipe that also works well with other berries. If you particularly enjoy chocolate, substitute chocolate cake, chocolate pudding, and crushed toffee pieces. That sounds good, doesn't it? So, this is very similar to the punch bowl cake that I make. We call it punch bowl cake, and I make it with strawberries. You might have seen it in some of our videos. And it has you mix together some sour cream and some powdered sugar, and it also has whipped cream in it too. It's really good too. So this is sort of the same thing, but just slightly different. So my cake turned out so-so. It's way more moist than usual, so I should not have added that other oil. And of course, if I'd had what the original recipe called for, it would be more like a pound cake. So it's kind of too moist, if that makes sense, but it'll be okay because we're just going to crumble it all up anyway, so that's going to be okay. I'm going to start with that, crumbling on the top, and it's stuck to the pan a little bit because it's just so soft. Of course, I've washed my hands, got my clean hands here. Smells really good. It is good. I've already tasted it, of course. Where it's stuck in the bottom of the pan, I ate part of that. Tried to get it out and lay it back on top, but I ate some of it, and I think all of us ate a little bite of it. It was good. It really doesn't matter the order either that you put it. As you can see, it could just be ever how you want to do it. I'm going to put a little bit more cake. I will go back though and see what, this was one of the recipes from Jim, what he says. So he says raspberries next, so we'll get our raspberries. I did rinse them off, even though I was eating them down there. I thought, well, I should make sure there's no creepy crawlies in them. So I washed them, just let them set for a very few minutes in some salted water so that any creepies would come out, although I'd probably ate enough creepies already that it wouldn't hurt. Oh, isn't that just lovely, just that part. I should get you a much closer view so you can see everything. Now that I've got some raspberries, I'm going to put some of Katie's wonderful pudding. I might should let it cool down, but I'm not going to. And of course, trifles like this are better the second day. It'll be really good tomorrow, but you know me, I've got to taste it today, so I'll be eating some of it shortly, directly. Okay. Let's see if we can put a little bit of the whipped cream. I'm just going to put it kind of in dollops. I'm not going to try to worry about it being exact. And I probably should have made a little bit more than I did, but I didn't want to go to the basement for a can of, or a carton of cream. I was trying to use what I had up here. Of course, it's just melting in my hot pudding, but that'll be okay. Okay, let's start again. This bowl that I'm using, it's a cake plate, but you turn it upside down and it's a trifle bowl. And I've had it since Matt and I was married. Somebody got it for me at one of my showers. Just like I was talking about Granny's bump pan that she'd had it all that time. Well, that's how I've had my bowl here. should have started on the part of the cake that was messed up, so if it didn't take it all, that's okay. Okay, now let's put some more raspberries. I don't know what we're having for supper tonight. We're probably just going to have a sandwich. So we'll have a really simple supper and a really fancy dessert, I guess, to go with it. Okay, let's put in, I think one more layer is about all this will hold. I'm wondering if we could save the pudding, and if I should just make it, like put berries on the top of this and that be the top, because I didn't make enough whipped cream. I was too lazy to go downstairs and get some more.
Well, you can do whatever you want to do. I'm going to steal a crumb.
All you want. Could just leave it with the berries on top of the cake. So far, Ira likes everything, including kraut and pickles.
Yeah, he loves kraut. It's one of his favorites, that and pickles. Alright, you can have just a little bit.
Okay, now I got to decide what I want to do. Well, first I got to put some more of these on top. I know I'm going to do that.
Can't eat all Grandma's berries.
Well, no, he can eat all he wants to. We got more. We'll just go get some more. He can eat any of these he wants to. I don't know. It's so pretty like that. Maybe.
It is.
But then, you know, you made the pudding. And
well, here's the thing. If we don't eat it tonight, we certainly will eat it, because I love pudding.
yeah.
Ira likes it too.
Pudding's like an underrated dessert. It's so good, but you really don't ever we don't just eat pudding by itself. Like I make pies out of it or something like that. Okay, that's all the raspberries. So now, could just top it with pudding and leave pudding be the top of it instead of the whipped cream.
I say the whipped cream.
Well, I don't think I've got enough. Is the problem with the whipped cream.
Well, here's an idea. Put a little bit of pudding, put a little bit of whipped cream, and then you'll be good to go. Because you got to use the whipped cream somewhere, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I ain't got enough pudding either. So our top may not be as pretty as others, but I think it'll be okay.
Poor Grandma.
Just
I was like, oh yeah, it makes a lot. I mean, that's 2.5 cups of milk.
Well, I've put it in there pretty thick, so.
I'm sorry if I didn't make it.
Oh, you made plenty. Don't worry about it. I think that's the best thing about a trifle is that you just, you know, it's just really how it come about was using leftovers. So if your cake was stale or whatever, kind of like a bread pudding, it'd be okay because all the pudding and the whipped cream would just soak into it. Of course, our cake's not stale, but okay. Let's see, now I've got to go to I'm just going to have to mix the whipped cream with it. Yeah, that's funny, ain't it?
It's exciting, huh? Real exciting.
Well, there's one thing about it. It might look funny, but I know it's going to taste good.
Oh my gosh, yes. Not only is it going to be delicious, I think it's really pretty too. I think it's beautiful, and yes, it will be delicious as a fact. Are we going to try some today?
Oh yeah, you know me. I can't not try it, even if it would be better tomorrow. I can't not try it. I'm just kind of mixing the pudding and the stuff together. How's that? If I had some more, I've used all the berries, but some berries on the very top would be pretty. With the punch bowl cake, I usually put strawberries on the very top.
Go pick us some more.
Yeah.
Me and Ira, I'll take him on that bank.
I don't know what that would. He'd probably enjoy it himself, but I don't know if you would enjoy it.
No, I'd be stressed out.
He likes to climb, so he probably would like it. Okay, what do you think?
I think it's beautiful.
Well, it's just going to have to be. Now, you can imagine, viewers, if it had lots of whipped cream on the top, how beautiful it would be. You could make little, almost do like a meringue, if you wanted to, not meringue, but with the whipped cream, make it all wavy on top. That would be really, really pretty, but this is what it's going to be for us. I'm trying to get some of the stuff off the edges. Okay, let me clean up, Katie, and we'll taste it.
Okay.
Well, I called the What are you, the chief taster in residence?
That sounds pretty good. Yeah.
Sounds good to you?
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's not as pretty as it would be if I had went to the trouble of walking to the basement and get more whipped cream. But
I don't like the basement.
I always go more on how things taste
Yeah.
than how they look. So, and it would be better tomorrow though when it's all soaked in. But we can't wait for that. We ain't about that, are we?
I ain't about that waiting.
We ain't about
I'm
waiting.
picking up some New Age lingo, are you?
Yeah, I'm learning from the youths.
Learning from the youths.
I really want some. I'm probably gonna have to leave the room.
Well, he can have some, but if you need to leave the room, you can leave the room.
I just mean he'll probably cry
You can
for
see
the
how
video.
turned out really, really pretty. Once it's in the bowl, not so pretty here, but it's pretty like that.
And what's this called?
Raspberry trifle.
I think that's real good. Don't you?
Katie's pudding, she made vanilla pudding, but she used maple sugar, so it's almost like a butterscotch. So she put vanilla in it, but she used that maple sugar, so that's why it's brown. And it's almost like a butterscotch, but
Well, that is good. You all did well.
yeah, it was a joint effort between me and Katie. Amazing, the berries was just growing right down the hill.
Yep. This morning.
The raspberries give it a really good flavor.
They do.
Now you could buy, like, buy in the grocery store. Or if you have tame ones, but these wild ones are awful special, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
Did you have raspberries when you were growing up anywhere?
I'm sure they were there, but I don't recall ever eating them. I mean, I may have picked some wild when I was young, but it's not something we ate very much of.
We didn't either, ever. Except, you remember where Henry's house was, his old house? Just in the backyard, almost to the point where the woods start, kind of, up at that edge. That's where Mama Marie had like a raspberry bush, raspberry vines. She had them there. I thought of it as a bush when I was little. And I would just stand out there and eat them. After she died, I don't know whatever happened to it. I guess it died out or whatever, because I know Henry would have, and his family would have appreciated it too, so I don't know what happened to it, but that was really the only raspberries I ever ate as a kid. Granny never bought them or anything like that. She'd buy strawberries in the, in the spring of the year when they first started getting in this area, ones from further south, and make jelly and pies and things like that with them, put them in the freezer. But we never had raspberries.
That sure is good.
It's pretty good. I think I'm going to have to call Corey and Austin and tell them one of them can hike up here and get them some for their dessert, for their supper. Now, we've ate our dessert first. Now we're going to have to eat supper, which is just going to be a sandwich, probably.
Why not more of this?
Well, yeah, it could just be more of this. Get you a big tall glass of milk. It'd be good.
Would be.
Well, I sure hope you enjoyed today coming along with me. Started this morning at the blackberry patch. I'm going to say that all the time. At the raspberry patch. It's so unusual to even say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the black raspberry patch. And thank goodness I didn't get copperhead bit. Matt told me to be careful.
They are on the move
If you could
around
have
here.
seen what I was standing on, you might have been scared. This winter, when all that stuff's gone, we need to go down there and cut down some little trees and move some stuff. So
Build you some steps.
yeah, build me some steps right up in the middle of them. That'd be great. I'm so glad you thought of that. Thank you.
gosh.
That would be great. No, not really. He don't have to do that. We're always glad, though, when you come by to help us celebrate Appalachia, and we hope you enjoyed it.
You might be having to rest up for tonight.
I know.
I know, she's getting it. Here we go. It's nice to just let Mama let you just have sugary stuff.
You don't just let him have sugary stuff. He eats better than any kid I've ever seen.
Well, I try to feed him vegetables.
You do. And we were just saying, he loves kraut, pickles, beans, pinto beans. See, I love a good bean, Grandma. See, I love a good bean.
Mommy.
Grandma, yeah. Yeah, see, I love a good bean. I like taters. I like deer meat. I'm not picky at all. I'm a good eater. In fact, he may eat us out of house and home.
Yeah, he probably will.
Yeah, you're eating the same thing I am. Pretty good. I'm gonna tell Corey they ought to come get some.
Yeah, you can.
Speaking of, she just called us.
Huh.
Hey, Ira.
Hey, Woodrow.
With you.
I hear Woodrow. How did you know we needed you to call? I was just about to call you and I picked up my phone and was like, oh, Corey just called me.
Oh, that's funny. He's about to call me. That's when he's gonna call me.
I was going to tell you one of y'all should come up here and get you some of this trifle, raspberry trifle. It's so good.
Okay. We'll have it with our supper.
That's what I said. You could have it for dessert with your supper. We've already had it before our supper, but
Is
Hey,
it
that's
good?
okay.
yeah.
I just got supper in Instacart.
Well, when y'all come up here and I'll send some back, it's really, really good.
Okay, I might just walk up with Woodrow.
Okay.
While supper's going, I could do that.
What were you calling us for?
I was gonna ask something about tomatoes, but if I walk up there and get it, I guess I'd ask you when I get there.
Okay. Okay, we'll see you in a minute.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.